Good morning. My name is Alex Hoon. I'm the incident meteorologist on the CZU Lightning Complex. And I'm here to tell you about the thunderstorms that we're expecting for later on today and into tonight. Now, we're expecting scattered thunderstorms to develop later on this afternoon, about 4 or 5 p.m. And then going on through the afternoon and into the evening, expecting to see periods of thunderstorms, abundant lightning, and also gusty outflow winds. For the firefighters on the ground, what does that mean? Well, lightning is obviously a safety hazard for any firefighters that are working out in the forest. We also have the potential for these gusty outflow winds that could potentially bring down some of these fire weakened trees. As the fire continues to burn, it weakens the trees, and then if you got a 50-mile-an-hour wind on one of these trees, it could bring it down rather quickly. So that's what we're here for. We are here for firefighter safety. Firefighter safety is first and paramount for us. When we're working on the fire, we will notify the firefighters out in the field that if any thunderstorms are moving in their direction, that way that they can take cover and put themselves in a safe position for when these winds come through. Now, these thunderstorms, they are expected to be mostly dry, not expecting any significant rainfall with these storms. If anything, maybe a few sprinkles, but for the most part, this is a dry lightning event. That's why we have a red flag warning that is in effect all the way until Monday. And for the community at large, with the dry lightning, if there is any dry lightning, if you see any lightning strikes in your area, please report any new wildland fires. There is going to be quite a bit of lightning across not only the Bay Area, but all the way into central and northern California, all the way up into the Sierras as well. So this storm definitely has the potential to look a lot like the last lightning event that we had back last weekend. Now, is it going to be exactly the same? Probably no. It's going to be a little bit different. Lightning could actually be in some slightly different areas than what we had this last time. The difference is that there are a lot of firefighters deployed across central and northern California at the moment, and everyone is on alert. Everyone's ready. So, but the problem is the resources, the amount of firefighters that are available is much less right now because everybody is out fighting the current fires. So, anybody that sees any new lightning fires, please let your local authorities know as soon as possible. It's very important for them to get on it as quickly as possible. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see all the fires. Some of them will be up in the mountains, and nobody will see it until it turns into a fire. But that's the danger with dry lightning, and that's why we have this red flag warning in place. Not only to let people know of the potential threat of new fires, but then also the safety concerns for the ongoing fires as well.
What about talking specifically about CZU's unit and the potential for lightning in our unit
again? There is a good potential for getting more lightning here in CZU, San Mateo and Santa Cruz unit. The potential is most definitely there. We know that we're expecting thunderstorms. We have a really high chance of thunderstorms. Where they're going to hit, exactly where, and how much lightning they're going to produce, we kind of have to wait and see. And so once we do see those thunderstorms beginning to roll in, we can actually see where the lightning is striking, and we're able to tell the fire agencies that, hey, we expected, or we're seeing a bunch of lightning in this area, and they'll actually go and search for wildfires as well. They use drones, they use helicopters, people flying around with infrared cameras and helicopters to look for new fire starts. So there's a lot of ways that the fire agencies use the lightning data in order to go and find new wildfires. There were over 1,000 lightning strikes and hundreds of fires. There just wasn't enough resources to get to them quickly and efficiently. These fires are occurring in steep, rugged terrain, wilderness areas that, there's no roads to get to. I mean, that's probably the biggest reason as to why, this fire, the CZU lightning complex, and some of the other ones around the Bay Area have gotten so large is because they occurred in areas where there's not a whole lot of people.
Good morning, I'm Brian Newman, the Fire Behavior Analyst for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 3. So today we're going to talk about a little bit about the conditions that have led to where we are today and what our concerns are from this point forward. So the fuel conditions here in the San Mateo-Santa Cruz Mountains are extremely dry this year. Rainfall this last winter was less than 50% of average, which really allowed the fuels to dry out and to be near critical and at critical levels in the brush. And then the really heavier fuels of the large timber and the dead and down fuels on the ground that normally take much longer to dry out to be at a critically dry level at this point. So we mix that with the lightning series that came through last weekend has really led to the perfect combination, unfortunately, of the event that led to this fire that we're at. So a large amount of lightning strikes on very dry fuel mixed with the large and very high heat that came right after, which is not normal for this part of the coast, has led to the really expansive fire growth that wouldn't be normal for these areas. So moving forward from that, today our concern is obviously the red flag warning with dry lightning coming in and some strong outflow winds, which will have an impact not only on the fire as it stands, but also a potential for new lightning strikes and new fires within the area. So we're having a wind shift on the fire, started yesterday and continuing through today, coming more out of the west and southwest, which is going to feed some air into the fire area on the eastern side here, which has our concern raised. We're going to potentially see some increased fire behavior on this portion of the fire, eastern portion of the fire, just because the wind has really been primarily out of the north for the brunt of the fire so far, but it's starting to shift and coming out of the south. And so we have some opportunities, unfortunately, for some increased fire behavior as it moves into the north. We don't expect that necessarily it's going to make any large runs to the north part of the fire, but our concerns are the outflow winds with the thunderstorms. They can produce 40, 50 mile an hour winds, which will obviously increase the activity within the fire. And then if we do get any new starts outside of the fire area, this fuel, the dryness is still really prime for new ignitions that have the ability to grow into larger fires again, and you mix that with the drawdown of resources all throughout the state, where it really puts us in a concerning manner in terms of our ability to manage and to extinguish those fires if they start. This one is less of a threat, primarily just with the weather behind this storm event is not as warm. After that last storm went through, we had a really high pressure that came over the area, very warm temperatures and north winds as the storm exited to the north and east. It caused north winds to have drying effect over the fire area and drive the fire south towards Santa Cruz. This event coming behind this storm as it exits to the north and east, it's still continuing with the south and southwest flow, which will continue to bring the marine moisture on the lower elevations and hopefully not exacerbate the fire situation like it did last week.